everybody. This is Dennis, and he's about to go on the biologically resonant harmonizer. And Dennis, say hi, and could you share with people, what's going on with you, basically, as to why you came here?
Sure. So the reason I came to see Mark is because my body is riddled with pain, arthritis, repetitive use injuries. I sprained my ankle and I'm having trouble walking. I have terrible arthritis in my hands, back, shoulders. I have torn rotator cuffs, thickening tendons.
So your body's pretty beat up in general.
My knee's all blowed up, and it's blowed up all the time.
Have a look at the knees compared to one another.
Yeah, I mean, you can see just sitting here.
I can see that.
So
do you know what's causing the blow up of the knee?
So I had an injury due to a motorcycle accident, a dirt bike accident, and I ripped my kneecap off, and it just never healed right, and it's just constant pain. I'm supposed to have a knee replacement, but I am one that doesn't want to go for the operation right away. I was supposed to have operations on my shoulder and knuckle replacement. They wanted to do a knuckle replacement.
They want to do everything.
I just believe that sometimes we jump the gun, and I'm patient, and I can.
Sometimes they can be helpful, but it's really good to go. See, all of our illnesses start in the spiritual mental plane, okay? And that's blockages of light as it filters down the different planes to get into our physical bodies. We also, healers can see in the energy field around you, blobs. They could see stuff coming before it shows up in the body. So what we hope that this does is it resonates out some of that sickness and allows life force to open up. You've got a lot going on. I'm not going to say what I would expect or not expect before the treatment, because I don't want to put any limitations or exaggerations, because I never know what's going to happen with anybody. Just like me as a Reiki master, teacher, you still never know who's going to get healed, who's not, who's just going to feel good from it, but not much happen, who's going to have miracles happen. You don't know. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people will get partial healings if they're really bad, and they will have to follow up, not only with maybe treatments or having something at home, but with other aspects of life that maybe need to be taken a look at that can help that body revive, as well as what this is doing, what the harmonizer is doing to help people to revive. So this could be either the answer in the short term, the answer, can take away PSTD, can take away pain. But I also feel that there's a responsibility on the person being healed as to their upkeep, so that they can keep that cleaner energy going through them. So they can keep the higher vibration going through them, because if people don't consciously make some form of a shift, and if they're playing out the same roles, the same patterns, they don't try to help their health at all, that's going to, I would think it would diminish back if they do nothing. But some people can have stuff released and it's just gone. So we don't know. Everything is designed around the individual. One thing I do know, 70 testimonials with everybody giving similar responses is quite miraculous responses is amazing. So we're gonna shut this off for now, and we're gonna have them just lie down on the table. I'm gonna turn on the tracks, and we'll turn this back on when I go to wake them up. Hi, Dennis.
Hey.
You can get up nice and slowly. I'll take the back pad off you. And I'll get the foot pads off you also. You take your time. Welcome back. Nice and slow. Don't get off the table. You can just sit on the table for a minute and orient.
Wow.
You okay?
Yeah, definitely okay. That was interesting.
What happened?
So it started when I first laid down and started feeling the vibrations. The pain in my body was getting intense, and it was going up towards my shoulders, and my mind was racing, and
The pain was getting intense
yeah,
at first.
yep, and it was all coming to one area, like it was being pulled from the extremities up into my upper body and in my back and shoulders, and my mind was racing, and my mind was trying to do something, but eventually I passed out, and when I came to, I was in total peace and harmony, and I just feel like
Well, what do you mean you were
love.
in
I just felt it wasn't this. It was like night and day.
So you weren't back here yet. You were still somewhere, and you were feeling love.
Yes, right. Like when I say so I feel like I passed out. I don't know if I did or not, but it felt
You
like
drifted into a different state.
I did. And when I realized I was back, everything was different.
So you don't remember going anywhere. Like you don't remember feeling, floating, or feeling anything. Just the pain was coming up from your extremities up to your back. Describe this again.
Yeah, very intense pain, but it left. It left because at that point
And it was. You said it was being conglomerated to one area. What area?
the top of back here was back and shoulders.
So everything was coming up from your legs,
Yep.
all the way up to your back and shoulders.
Yep.
And then, and your mind was racing.
Yeah, and I just that's the last thing I remember. And then when I woke up, I was like floating.
No.
I feel like the presence of my grandmother was there. I felt like there was.
Here, talk to us.
Like there was an intent, like there was something going on that was peaceful and loving, and it just felt purposeful. You know what I mean? Like everything was different.
But you were somewhere. You
I
just
was.
don't know where.
Right.
So you didn't wake up. You didn't mean you woke up here. You mean you woke up consciously
Right.
in some realm. Do you remember seeing anything, or was it more of a feeling?
I remember seeing things like some. As a brightness. There was a brightness when I realized that I was somewhere that was better place.
So this is after you fell asleep. You woke up and you realized you're somewhere and there's brightness.
If I fell asleep, I just feel like I was.
Your consciousness shifted to a different place. It feels like
did.
falling asleep.
It did, and when I realized I was back, things were brighter. There was color. There was brightness. There was like an intense bright light that was in the distance.
What color?
White.
Okay.
I felt like I could my grandmother was kind of. My grandmother was kind of present. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but that's
You didn't
how
see her, but you could feel her presence.
Yes, yes. And then I felt like I was seeing forms come to just forms. Like at first I don't know, but everything was resonant. Everything was like in tune. It was definitely neat. It was.
Any other
Like,
descriptions?
I went from total chaos
Mm-hmm.
to total peace and harmony.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I felt like there was no more pain.
So here's my gather off the top of my head. If the resonant tones are moving energy throughout your body, and you're feeling that energy, now most people don't feel pain like that, but you felt it because it seems like it's coming out and it's moving up your body to a point where it's ready to be released.
Right.
While that's happening, all of these racing thoughts, which may have to do with what caused the pain, many racing thoughts, random racing thoughts, probably nothing in particular.
Right.
I am going to take a guess that they could have had to do with the pain and where it came from to begin with. As the pain is moving out of you, all the thought form energy of that pain is now coming to the surface. It's streaming through your consciousness. It's gone and you go out in a sense.
Yeah, for that period of time, I don't remember. There was nothing.
Right. So it leaves and you fall into this state, almost like a sleep state.
Yeah.
But then you're finding yourself in this realm that you described. Is there any more detail about this peace love dimension that you were in?
It just felt like everything was in tune, like everything was flowing.
Perfect harmony.
In perfect harmony. Everything. There was nothing negative or bad. It was all pleasant.
All right, now, we know you were in a lot of pain when you came in. Could you stand up and go check out your body and tell us what's happening at this moment? And so move around, move your legs, just brief.
Well, I definitely feel better. I don't feel the sharp pain that I was experiencing when I came here.
I saw you were really having trouble, super trouble.
Yeah,
walking.
I mean, I felt crippled, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Where right now I feel a lot different.
How about a little bend over? Just a little bit. And arms up in the air.
You know, I feel like my shoulders feel a lot better. My shoulders were really
Tight
bad.
and aching.
Yeah.
Check your shoulders out one more time.
Like I couldn't even raise my arm like this.
You couldn't.
No. Very sharp pain in my shoulder.
And it's not there?
I couldn't even brush my hair.
The pain's not there?
It's not there.
Is it completely gone or
It's not completely gone, but it's
60%, 70, 80?
I'm going to say 70.
70% better in one. That's better than an aspirin.
I couldn't do this before.
Oh my gosh.
It would feel like fibers are tearing, and the pain was so sharp. I'm telling you, I couldn't brush my hair.
You couldn't even lift your arms up. Wow. Looks like you had a little miracle here.
Yeah.
I think I need to nickname this device the Christ healing device, the Christ device.
Yeah. So it's funny, not funny, but it just brought back I remember almost seeing his face in one of those. Remember I was saying about there was some forms?
Yeah.
And at one point I felt like I was looking at his face, Christ's face.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
The love
Like it
of...
just took the shape of Christ. I mean, it wasn't. There's nothing defined about it, but
Could it have been any angelic being that has that Christ energy, or do you really think it was
No,
Jesus?
I think it was Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a big believer in Jesus
I am.
in that way? Okay.
Yep.
And you got healed.
Well, I
So,
definitely feel like I had an experience.
Is there any other description of what you saw there? Because this is the first time you said you
Let me
felt
see-
Christ was
let me
there.
sit down and think about this for a minute, because I'm sure there was a lot of things that I'm just not
That's all right.
thinking about. I know Tessa spoke about that heaviness.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like it's gone too.
Heaviness in your body,
Yeah,
like a weight.
like a restriction, in my body, like a heaviness, like a weight.
What percentage of that is gone?
It's not there at all.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's not there at all right now.
Okay.
It's just amazing to me how in the beginning of the session, I felt so, I don't want to say confused, but just my mind was working overtime and things were like almost.
From what I saw, you were in so much pain trying to walk, move. You seemed that you were really super uncomfortable in your body.
Yeah.
And it was creating a dilemma for you, like almost like you're saying, I don't know what to do about this. I can't get out of pain.
Yeah,
That kind of, so when you're talking about
wherever
confused and
wherever I wound up, that was gone, and I felt fine.
well, thank you so much. Is there anything that you'd like to say to people watching this that maybe they could take advantage of? Anything that you'd like to say to them before we close this off?
Well, I don't think that it matters what kind of preconceived notions you have, or if you have an open mind, you have to try this, because something happens for real, and I can't really explain it too well right now, but I'm sure I'm going to think about this for a while.
And the reason why people can't fully explain where they were, you're not in linear time space. You're on the other side.
Absolutely.
Okay, this device is actually allowing people to have a near-death like experience,
Yeah,
but maybe
that's
not
a good
quite
way to-
as in depth.
that's a
Okay,
good way to describe it, though.
it's
Because
popping people out of their bodies. But here's what I think.
there was a
I think-
moment where I was dead, gone, like just vanished, like there was nothing there.
Okay, your mind.
A whole time period where I feel like I didn't hear nothing. It was just, and I don't think I was sleeping. I don't.
No, you were consciously awake, but not in your body.
Right. That's exactly what I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
You might come up with more things, like as you get to ponder this and think about it, have a day go by and, oh yeah, that. Because you're in non-linear time space on the other side. Nothing is the same. And you're trying to use human words to describe a multi-dimensional experience that is not like here.
Hard to do. I also felt like there were some things controlling, like not magnetic, but I felt like there were some things going, like pulses going on in my body towards the end that were like just in tune with everything else. Like, I don't know.
Can you describe that? You're doing good.
Um,
Try to describe these pulses a little bit better.
kind of like a jolt, but in a good way. Not.
Now, when you say your body, you mean your torso or your legs also?
My torso, mostly my torso. I just felt like it was like something was shifting. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I don't know. What,
if you have energy that's blocked up and all of a sudden it goes, psh, it breaks open, could that cause a pulse
yeah,
of energy?
I think that's probably maybe what was going on, because Yeah.
So you got blockages, they're being cleared, the energy shoots through, and you feel a pulse.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something with a friend of mine, actually, he had gout, and I worked on his toe, and I pretended I'm pulling the energy out of his toe, like I'm taking that trap blockage and pulling it with my hands, and all of a sudden his legs started flapping around like that uncontrollably for a moment, and that was absolutely blocked energy. And then all of a sudden the energy shoots through that meridian of the leg, and the whole leg is bouncing uncontrollably for a moment because it was all blocked up. Electricity, energy, movement.
Yeah.
And that's what it reminded me of. You said you felt this pulse.
The pulse actually lifted my body up, and dropped it. I mean, it might not have been that prevalent,
right, listen,
but that's how it felt.
You're going to be able to have some time to think about this, maybe to remember a few other things, and anything that maybe if we could do a second video on a follow-up.
Yeah, I would like that.
To find out what's happened happened for the rest of the night, what happened tomorrow, what happened over a few days.
Sure.
And you might remember some things. You might want to jot them down.
Yeah, okay.
I would write up your story.
I will.
Journal it.
All right.
And then you come back over, maybe we'll get another treatment, but you'll also be able to share what has happened since. I want you to drink a lot of water.
Okay.
Okay, after this. Oh, I brought you some water.
Okay.
I want you to drink a lot of water. Any trapped toxins might have been released from your system. You want to clear those toxins from your system.
Okay. Gotcha.
And you do all the good things for yourself that you know how to do. And now, don't think of yourself ever again as somebody that's in that amount of pain. I want you to place in, and I know it's been a long time, but I want you to place in your mind, this is how I am now, and I feel great. And you say this to yourself. This is how, and close your eyes and let go of outside and let that energy sink into your mind. This is how I am now, and I feel great. With your eyes closed and making the emotion and the feeling of that. And I want you to reinforce that this is your body.
I do feel great.
With no thought of the old body that you were trapped in. You've been transported to a different dimension.
I don't feel like it's the same body. I feel different.
It's not. It's not.
Feel different.
All those,
lighter.
all that weight. Yeah, for now.
Right.
And hopefully, with your participation in aftercare, what you feed your thoughts, what you're going to tell yourself.
Sure.
If you think of yourself as capable and have a new body, and if you act like that, you have a much better chance of keeping this. But if you start to remember, oh, my body hurt, oh, I can't do that.
I'm a firm believer in what we tell
oh, I
ourselves.
can't do that.
Yeah.
The body is listening to every word, every thought, every emotion we have.
That's true.
We're patterning how things are going to work.
Absolutely. I believe that. And you're right. Good advice.
Alrighty.
I'm going to do that. My self-talk is going to be positive and reassuring.
It's hard to think of, that you've had a body a certain way for so long, and all of a sudden completely forget that ever existed and that you're now functional. And even if it's not 1,000% from when you were a kid or 20 years ago, you keep thinking I'm functional, and you'll see how much of that functionality has come back compared to where you were.
I think that doing these sessions could be really beneficial.
Life-changing.
Life-changing.
On many levels.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming over and for sharing with everybody. Is there anything you want to say to them before we say goodbye?
I just want to say that this is real, and it's powerful stuff. And thank you. Thank you
You're so
for
welcome.
sharing this with me, Mark.
My pleasure. I'm so glad that this can do this for people. Have a good night or goodbye.
Yep.
What did you just say about pain?
When I first came here and before I started the session, I had throbbing pain in my shoulder, throbbing And you can see my needle. You can see those
Yeah. And at the moment,
and at the moment, I don't feel any pain.
It's completely gone.
It's like it's not even. It's
like somebody just did voodoo magic on you.
Yeah.
Well, this is God's magic.
Yeah.
And here's the bottom line.
And even when I bend it.
When we take our consciousness, who's still the aspect of ourself, of our human self, not our God self, our human self, and you're taking your energy body, your consciousness into the love dimension, anything unlike love gets vibrated off. It comes out. Then we return here with a brand new energetic body. That if the person will work on themselves and keep their positive, excited attitude about their potentials and their intention, their new intentions for what do I want to do with my life next, and you have something to look forward to and something to drive you, and self-responsibility with food, some exercise, your thought forms, you catch any negative thoughts, you say cancel, you replace them with the emotional feeling of what you want to experience. We're each designing our own life by every thought that we reinforce.
I just had a thought that anybody that is going through pain and problems like pain problems, before they get cut open or prescribed medication, should absolutely try this. You have nothing to lose, and the power of your mind and spirit is beyond anything I can explain. I know it's working.
I almost feel like this is people walking into the faith healers down south, and the priest puts his hand on their forehead, he goes, hallelujah, and they just walk.
I mean, I don't know what I believe, but I don't believe it's impossible.
No, this is taking people to the other side. It's taking them to what we call heaven. It's actually a higher dimension, or what we call the love dimensions, and people are getting healed in the manner that I said.
When I first started on that journey on that table, I did not expect to go where I went. I really
Nobody does.
Uh,
How long did it seem like you were out for?
Hours. Seemed like hours.
Hours.
Yeah.
Complete loss of track of time.
Yeah. And, yeah. Absolutely. And then I don't know how long that time span was where I was unconscious. I call it unconscious.
Your mind clicked out for a moment as you were transitioning from the pain state and that conscious state into a higher state. You clicked out for a moment and woke up back in the higher state.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
The biologically resonant harmonizer, a sound frequency healing device by Second Earth.
SecondEarth.org